I'm Dan Corbett, manager and founding partner of BlackIron Group. Today I want to talk to you about using Odoo for discrete manufacturers. And then I'm going to demonstrate the tool using a fictitious printer that works with Fortune X companies. But first, a shameless plug. We're in our 20th year as a business, and for 20 years, we've helped customers refine their sales and inventory and accounting processes, extend their reach, automate it, and grow their businesses. That's kept customers coming back to us, and for that, we're very grateful. We have experience with the vast majority of ERP systems out there in the marketplace, and that experience tells us that Odoo is poised to become the next big thing in ERP software. Unlike traditional ERP systems, Odoo offers a comprehensive suite of integrated applications that can be tailored to fit the specific needs of any business, regardless of size. Odoo's cost-effective pricing model makes it accessible for startups and medium-sized business, while its robust features streamline operations and drive productivity. But what about specifically discrete manufacturers? Odoo can help discrete manufacturers win jobs, manage costs, and control future orders. Finding and keeping your customers in manufacturing is becoming harder than ever. For discrete manufacturers specifically, finding raw materials used in creating custom projects at scale for clients can be overwhelming. The beauty of the internet, of course, is that pricing is pretty transparent. The issue with the internet is that there are too many prices to choose from. Finding employees and keeping them is especially hard, making it imperative that the tools you use are fast, easy to learn, and profoundly foolproof. ERP is critical to a manufacturer's success. They measure critical inventory and production planning data, shop floor, financial information, and all of the complex interactions between those. So why struggle with a basic accounting app or Excel when you can launch into the future with Odoo? There are a ton of ERP systems out there, but how many of them have purpose-built functionality for discrete manufacturers at this price point? Discrete manufacturers are often responding to RFQs. Odoo allows clients to easily build web pages to offer prospective clients a perfect place to request those. Discrete manufacturers often buy the same raw materials from multiple vendors. Odoo offered this in the base app. And as a result of that, tracking inventory from multiple vendors, lot tracking is often vital for discrete manufacturers. Odoo also offers this in the base app. Discrete manufacturers often tier pricing for clients, giving them a greater discount if they buy higher quantities. Odoo also allows this. Samples are part of the game in discrete manufacturing, and while Odoo doesn't offer sample tracking in the base app, you'll see in this demo that sample tracking is easy to build and super convenient. So let's jump right in. And here's the base menu for the Odoo app. We're going to start at the website because our client uses the website to allow customers to easily generate quotes. And you'll kind of see here in the system that I've built a custom page called Request for Quote. If I click into that, the data essentially gives me the ability to fill out what kind of print I'm looking for, how many I need, and when I need it by. So let's fill this out real quick. Okay, so quickly I filled out this form, pretending I'm from Google-ish, and I'm looking for an employee onboarding brochure. I'm going to hand this out to between 5,000 and 25,000 people, and I need it right before Thanksgiving. So let's go ahead and submit this and watch what happens in Odoo. Here in the CRM app, I've already got my lead in the system. And when I click on this, you can see the information about what I said, including all of my text. My extra information tab tells me a little bit more about the company I'm working with and the person, and even an address. Let's go ahead and create a quote. Okay, so the first cool feature is going to be tiered pricing. I'm going to add my product, my trifold brochure, and when I pick this, Odoo is going to ask me what tiered pricing I have. I name my tiers unimaginatively, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but anybody, you can do anything you want. So we're going to say for 50, you get $50 off, and you can do this with the percentage. I'm just doing flat dollar. For 75, you get 75, and for 100, just to make it nice and easy, I'm going to get 100. At this point, I've got a quotation put together. You can see I've got my totals down here for the 3, but if I preview this, the version I'm going to send to the customer doesn't have that. Essentially, they're going to pick from one of these 3 items, and when they pick, that data is going to come back to me in Odoo, and then I'm going to figure out what's the next steps. Okay, so in my world, they went with 75, and we're ready to go ahead and turn this into a confirmed sales order. It's easy enough to do in Odoo by hitting the confirm button. And you'll notice three things happen right away. The first is a delivery order comes up and a manufacturing order. This means that I need to manufacture this trifold brochure, but because it's in here and I've got components that need to build, I also need to purchase some of this. So let's go see what the purchase order looks like. Okay, I made a typo. I thought I bought 75 reams, but instead I bought 78. So you can see, though, that Odoo automatically created a purchase order for me. But sometimes you're going to buy it from alternative suppliers, right? That's what raw materials kind of do. We need to find the best price we can in today's kind of competitive age. So I'm going to click on alternatives, and I'm going to add a couple of alternatives to this purchase order. I'm going to add one for Stratton paper. And when I do that, I'll pick Peter paper here. It basically brings those items over. And then I'm going to create a third alternative from Fairfield Mills, and grab that information as well. So very quickly inside of the system, I've got one master PO 58 out there for Papermart, and then I've got two alternatives for Fairfield Buyer and for Stratton Paper. I'm going to send this by email out to the customer, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Here's my email with the RFQ out to Papermart, and you can kind of see this information here. In real life, I'm not going to give them the ability to accept or decline. I'm going to do it myself. I should have fixed this email template, but that's easy enough to do so that when the vendor gets this, they're going to say that they're okay with this, and once they do, then we're going to get to choose which vendor we want. At this point, Papermart has the cheapest price and the best lead time, so we're probably just going to go with Papermart, but we did get to send it to 3 vendors just to see what the story was. All right, so back in Odoo, I'm going to go ahead and confirm this order, and a really slick thing happens. It basically says, what do you want to do about these other 2 guys? So I'm going to cancel those alternatives, and I'm going to end up with one surviving PO, PO 56, for these items. Once it's here, I'm going to receive these products. In real life, you're obviously going to do this in a warehouse, but I'm just kind of showing it, and I'm going to validate this. Oh, sorry, the next thing that we need to do is give ourselves a lot, because we're getting this from multiple vendors. We need to be able to say, this particular stock came from vendor X for lot Y, and we sort of need to put that together. So let's give this a lot number before we go ahead and receive this. Clicking on this menu allows me to do that. So I'm going to generate my lot. I like to call my lot by the vendor, so I know exactly who I'm dealing with. I have to be a better speller than I am. But once you get this kind of in there, at least I know that my Papermart lot, we're going to make this a 0123, is essentially what we're going to do. I'm going to click generate, and now I've got my lot basically put together. I save this, and I validate. And at this point now, this stock is in the warehouse for me, and it's time to go ahead and make my trifold brochure. So let's walk back over to the manufacturing order. Okay, I'm ready to make this, so I'm going to go into my manufacturing step and take a look at this. Here's my pieces, and at this point, I could produce all here, but really, this is going to happen on the manufacturing floor. Remember when I said that hiring people and keeping them on the shop floor is kind of a challenge? We want to make this as foolproof as we possibly can. Odoo comes with an app built in for the $40 a user a month called Shop Floor that will give us the ability to kind of get those guys to do that. So let's go check that out. All right, so when I said I want this to be easy, I meant it. I walk into Shop Floor, and here's my manufacturing order that I need to put together. These guys are skilled at running these machines, printing, cutting, folding, packing. They don't need to be technicians, so we want them basically to walk in here and do the work. But again, in discrete manufacturing, you're going to need to do some QA. So we built in a quality check right here in the system. And if I click on quality checks, oh, sorry, haven't done the thing yet, so let me get the quantity in here. All right, and at this point, I'm going to do a quality check. I built a real simple pass-fail, but you can imagine, you can put in notes. You can say you need to, check the edges, make sure that the lines are straight, make sure that whatever you want to do. But essentially, this gives my guy out on the field, on the floor, the ability to look at this, and I basically force the issue. When he passes this and we're good, it's time to close this off and get this packed up. Back in the sales order, you can see that I've confirmed this and I've got this order. If I look at my manufacturing order, it's produced, and it's time to basically ship this out. When I do the delivery and get this data, get these brochures out to the system, the last thing I need to do is create an invoice and bill the customer. Now, I got C's in accounting. We've got many people who are CPAs on staff who help set up accounting, but I'm not going to show my ignorance and show you how that works. Suffice it to say, Odoo's accounting app is far superior to most of the accounting apps that you see. Certainly the kind of beginner ones like QuickBooks and that kind of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and create this invoice. We're going to get this data out there, and we're going to close this order out. All right, so at this point, we've basically shown how you do tier pricing, how you can offer tender offers, so multiple vendors bid on the same raw materials, how we build a manufacturer order, how the shop floor works with that, how they do quality checks, and how we invoice all that and get it out. All that's built in, purpose-built for discrete manufacturers right here in the Odoo platform, all for less than $40 a user a month. Pretty slick, right? If I look down on my dashboards, I can kind of see where my customers are. And you see, Google-ish and Dan the Man, we're doing pretty well here. 3 orders out there and 41 grand. All of this information is kind of available for us to see where we are and see what kind of information is going on. So what's next? Well, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to BlackIron Group by sending us an email at info@blackiron.group.com or by calling me directly at 203-984-9087. You can also always reach out to your Odoo rep directly. We really appreciate this. Thanks for the time. Looking forward to hearing from you.